Why hello there, mechatronic engineers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic. Episode 11, Orderly Power for a Charged Base. And Rivek, you got Smada. We'll give you suit. Alright, Joshua, we're going to give you grilling for now. And then, as I just mentioned, I'm going to want to scramble RCV's brain to get rid of cooking, because he doesn't need to be a cook anymore. So I'm going to put in the skill scrubber in next to the exosuit dock. Do I have suits? No. I have thimble reed seeds. Okay. Did we make a suit? I don't think we have. Where'd those reeds go? Oh, they're just right there. Okay. All right, new rubber boots are gonna go to the new guy. I'm calling him the new guy only because he's going to be raffled off to someone pretty soon, so his name's going to change. Not in granite. Water level lowered because of the pump, so I'm going to... You know what? Let's just do it now. Go all the way down. Ooh, pearl time. Nice. And then Joshua, you, I just realized you don't know how to swim. So we might want to fix that. Because all of my starting dupes know how to swim, and then you're going to be an awful swimmer, which is just going to get you killed. It's going to get you drowned or something. So that will be the next point to put in. But it's good that we have a dedicated cook and supply. Two things that I think we needed. And then our pearls are going up. I don't see any sequine that are trying to eat them or anything like that, which is good. And we're about to tap the next set of reeds. And then there will be even more reeds over here if we really want them, but we just have to go, like, awkwardly up this abyssalite. Ah, we have a suit. All right, the current holdup right now is refined zinc, for lack of a suit. So we'll refine the zinc and major mildew. Great. We have a mildewy duplicant. That's not a good combo. Congrats. All right. RCV is going to go through the scrub-a-dub to remove the grillin, because he doesn't need to be a griller anymore. And I don't think I'm actually going to bother to try to add more dining capacity, because the chance that they overlap is still pretty low. So I'm just not too worried about it. Plus, I could always fix that by scheduling them with an off-centered schedule, so that it's like mealtime for some and mealtime for others. If it becomes an issue, I'll just fix it with scheduling rather than with additional seats. So I'm just watching for today. Yeah, they didn't even overlap despite being next to one another. Here we go, communal dining. So if you're wondering about the communal dining, there we go. Great meal, plus 12. Oh my god. communal dining +1, Great Hall +4. I know my head's kind of in the way. But, they just ate all the nice meals, which is fine. RCV, you finished? No. RCV needs to get shaken up some more. British nanny. Okay. Old reference. Maybe some of you got it. As far as the buddy buds go, RCV does not like floral scent, so I'm not going to bother weaponizing it against him. That sounds like a very mean thing to do to RCV, so I'm just going to leave the buddy buds alone. I don't really have any airborne germs or anything like that. Like, our germ control's pretty tight. And, you know, maybe I bother to do something about that if we end up with, like, zombie spores, but, like, the chance of us hitting zombie spores are pretty low. Or slime lung or something like that. Alright, RCV got a skill reset, so this time like that. Perfect. And then priorities, RCV. You guys don't cook. I mean, not that you really could without the grilling skill, but yeah, it's not your responsibility. I wonder when it will stop telling me that his skills reset. It's like, I know, I assigned them. Okay, deliver the suits. And then once all the suits are delivered and made, I will engage the checkpoint. I know I don't have the checkpoint yet, but I will get it soon. That way, we don't have to get chilly surroundings, yucky lungs, at all. We'll be protected from that stuff. And Ravex making the final suit. Oops. Didn't mean for that to be a super emergency. So clearance. Let's talk about clearance real quick. I intend to have a dock per suit. So clearance vacancy is you can only come back when there's a suit available. And always is like, you can always come back and you just dump them on the floor. So I'm going to do vacancy instead of always. So I don't end up with a bunch of dumped suits on the floor, but it really ought not to dump anyway. There we go. We now have the suit dock set up for the top suit. How do I handle zombie spores, etc.? You can submerge them. You can use ore scrubbers, and you know, there's a bunch of different ways to handle the zombie spores. You can combat them with floral scent. Usually, like, if you really want to take advantage of that, you just put them behind glass. You know, you put some, you isolate them and their airflow, and then you can benefit from their decor. I think that's pretty much the meta. So, at this point, we finished the top suit dock. So, what do you want me to do? What next project? We can do add more tidal power, improve the power infrastructure, build CO2 filtering, set up suit docks. That would be the southern dock. We could build a recreation room, or I could explore north and set up North Transit. I'm just going to call it. North Transit would be just like one ladder with room for potentially a tube or something here. displacing this water and then like having a unified point to space. Have you guys vote on that and give me 2.5 minutes for that. So there it is. Timer up. I see you guys don't like my power infrastructure. My temporary stopgap garbage. Don't worry, I don't like it either. I did it because it was fast, not because it was nice. What can you store here? Yeah. Salty sticks. That makes sense. Now that we have like a dedicated sweeper, more or less, I'm definitely going to make him work. Poor Mildew is like, no! For the love of God, no! And it's like, I don't care. This is your job now. We are... Ooh, look, we passed a generation here. Fish fillet of the last generation and the fry of the new one. Oh my god, look at Mildew who doesn't know how to swim. Might as well be a Gus's Glump. Dude's gonna drown. Or Gloop, rather. Not Glump. Needless to say, I think that's where his next point's going, is basic swimming. Oh, hey, look! What's this? Steam vent! Okay, cool. We also have 2 more reed fibers available to us. I don't think I want to invest in swimwear unless it becomes a real morale negative not to have it, so that I have the possibility of making more suits, because the suits are a little bit more important, I would say. Okay, power infrastructure. What does swimwear do? Alright, let me explain this again. The swimwear prevents you from getting sopping wet. And sopping wet is an effect where you are submerged in water and it's a negative mood modifier. It also prevents soggy feet, which happens when you step in water, like through a liquid lock or through shallow water or something like that. And then the footwear does soggy feet and slippery floors. So I can easily make rubber boots for everyone, because that's just crushing gumwood into latex, latex into rubber in the vulcanizer. But the swimwear requires fibers of some sort, which I really don't have. So those that do not have the swimwear will suffer a little bit more morale penalty than those that don't. So here's sopping wet. And sopping wet is a net stamina reduction and stress increase, having been recently submerged in liquid. So it's not great, but as long as we have a bunch of positive stressors or positive morale, you know, Rayvac, for instance, has a change per cycle of negative 25%. So it's like, not a big deal. It might become a big deal later on, but at least for right now, it's not a big deal. I did not realize I was going to have a lime problem. That might just be a delivery problem. Let me double check. Nope, it really is a problem. Okay. I will start working on the power grid, but I need to briefly fix the lime issue. We have a lot of corallium, so I'm not worried like long term. I just need to make some lime. And then alternatively, or additionally, I should say, probably put the lime somewhere close and accessible. So I'm going to put a mesh tile there for the lime. And a box. Lime is something that you get a lot on in this biome. Okay, if we are improving our power grid, I'm gonna make it look like intentional. So the thing is, I really do intend to just use the mechatronics engineering. Like I really don't, or sorry, the tidal power, ideally, and not generate power any other way. But what I do want to do is to have a power transformers that aren't stupid. Because, like, it currently is messy and stupid. So the plan is to enclose these just for, like, movement speed reasons and to make it look nice. So it's not just, like, I slap some batteries into a cave. And then to have transformers in an array that makes some semblance of sense. So I think what that might look like is for power to come down here and for there to be a second array of transformers in this area. Like that. The other thing that I think is also reasonable is not even to bother with the... So, for some of the base, the core of the base, having the kilowatt line is fine. Because they're easy to run. Multiple kilowatt lines. It's not a big deal. But for the crafting room, we're going to want something bigger and better. And let's go ahead and get the large power transformers for that. So get that research going. Yeah, floor makes you move faster. So running around in like siltstone or something, and then running around on floor, if you take a look at tile, it has a run speed bonus of 25%. Plastic floors are even better. Not that I have plastic availability, and metal tiles are better. But I don't have a ton of refined metal, so using a bunch of metal for super good run speed metal tiles does make sense. But one of the reasons why, like, my suit dock here, I tiled all up, is for movement speed. Because 25% when you traverse this frequently is going to add up in the long run. Yo, hey Stash. How's it going, man? EverQuest Legends, you're back at that. How's it going? Hopefully not more death loop. And I didn't mean to call you out like that. I apologize. I hope I'm doing well. I think you can probably hear I'm not, but I'm still having fun. Let's just say hot tea is in order once once this stream's over. A lot of hot tea. You find it weird the second transformer only gives 4K power, but the second cable only takes 2. Well, you can double up the regular transformers onto it. But yeah, I mean it's I agree. Wishing me for better health? Yeah, I get sick a lot. Having a toddler, man. It's rough. I love it, but it kicks my butt. And I don't think my experience with that is unique in any way. I think that's the typical standard of, yes, have toddler, constantly get sick. That is the norm. So we don't really need power. We do need power to the suit docks. And that power, honestly, could be something like this, where we have a transformer here instead to run to the suit docks. And then the power that goes out to the crafting grid, I'm not crafting right now, so I could disable that and remove that transformer. But what I want to do is I want to build this transformer to send it to the rest of the base before I destroy any of the older transformers. The idea is to line up all the transformers like in a vertical column here, roughly, so it's more organized and can scale. Oh, and lime. Lime. So we ended up with 73 kilograms of lime. What is this per day? 10? 5? 5. Well, we still have more processing to do, which will get done once Ravac's done researching heavy watt or better lines. Water level's getting a little low here. I may need to artificially boost the water level by like adding another wall or something if the pitcher pump can't reach. We'll have to consider that. Oh, toilet out of order. Well, that's a lie. It's not out of order. Alright, low resistance conductors is now done. So that offers us conductive wire, which holds up to 2 kilowatts, heavy conductive wire at 50, conductive wire bridges, heavy watt joint plates, large power transformer, which is a 4K line. And what we could do is we could have two, for the conductive wires, we can have 2 power transformers into 1 conductive wire so that it's a 2K line. I don't think we're going to need a lot of 4K lines. So most of our grid is going to be heavy watt at 20 kilowatts. And then some 2K watt lines when we have like metal refinery or something like that. And then the internal of the base is just going to be a 1K line. Boring 1K lines. But there we go. Now we have that research project done, allowing us to potentially have a higher watt for crafting if we end up needing it. The other thing worth noting is our flute coral that we had set up, this little like small oxygen generator, technically only generates enough for 3 dupes, and we're tapping a bunch of like natural sources for additional oxygen, so easily our oxygen generation is way more than what 3 dupes need. But I would like to have that all internal, basically supply what our dupes need without using wild sources. It does mean that my lime production needs to match it. So for now it's fine, but later on I'm going to want to build another one of these, which is why I'm focusing so heavily on the pearls. Do they generate CO2? Nope. They O2. Yes, they generate O2. 150 grams each, which is a dupe and a half's worth of oxygen. Standard dupe, because dupes can be anywhere between 200 to 25. So if we wanted a 2K line, you can just line up two 1K power transformers and then transform it up to a 2K line. So this is just two 1K lines to split the internal base. So I'm going to want something like... Let's mine this out. And then this power transformer is going to be... Actually, I'll just do it like this. This power transformer is going to take over this upper section of the base. So I don't really need to even mine this. And we'll dump this transformer. Now, we might end up retooling that transformer at some point for a metal refinery line or something like that. We'll see. So once these lines are built, I'll phase this, pun unintended, phase this power transformer out. And now we also have access to be able to build this so that we can make sure that this water doesn't like bleed into our base or anything. What is the carbon dioxide situation looking like? It's pooling, but it's pooling somewhere I don't really care about. There's a little bit of pooled CO2 here, which with some airflow tiles we could resolve. This isn't CO2, this is chlorine, so that's intentional. And it's pulling down here. So it's not pulling anywhere that is annoying. It's pulling well below anywhere I'd likely put an airflow or a liquid lock, so it's not a big deal. And one thing that's interesting is there's some super pooled oxygen gas here. Oh my good lord. 75 kilograms of oxygen. Let's burst that bubble. Okay, this looks right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip the power. Let's go over to the power grid. Snip there. Supply here. And destroy this old transformer. So now the base is supplied by this transformer. And I'm going to do the same over here. This transformer is then going to feed a different section of the base. So what I think I'll do is run a cable like this. Actually, no. I'm looking at where the cut point will be. Let's run it like that. So we'll eventually snip this. So everything here, the oxygen filtration, sieve, and pumps will run off of that transformer, and then this transformer will run the refrigerator, the kitchen, the aux pump, and the stuff, the liquid pump below. And for that to work, we will need some flooring and some mining, but it's not that lofty of a task. Pretty easy to do. Looking good. Now the beds are going to get temporarily displaced until, yeah, there we go. And then once this wire's done, we'll snip that there and then connect this here. And we shouldn't have like an overload problem anymore. Or the potential of an overload problem. So what I mean by that is the potential load of this current line is 2 kilowatts, but it can only handle up to 1 kilowatt, so it could brown out. And we're just trying to prevent a potential brownout. Oh my god, this is not efficient. Burnables. Hey, coal. I have basically none of that. Sure, I'll take it. Beds are buried. Ah, yes, they are. Thank you for noticing. I'm just going to red alert real quick. Done. Oh, they're just coming. It's easy to forget, but Major Mildew's athleticism is terrible compared to everyone else's, because he just recently got printed. So most of this cable line is done. I think all of it is reachable. So we'll have that finished pretty soon. Then the only other thing I really want to do for this is to have a higher wattage line. A higher wattage line available for crafting, like run this on a separate grid. I'll have to figure out exactly what that might mean. But yeah, we're almost done there. Perfect. Now, my kcals have been going down. Once we hit like maybe 50, I'll start to tend to the farm tiles and at a higher ratio. Okay, we're ready to snip. So the plan was to snip it there, and then connect it up here. And the net result is a 825 max load here, and a 1170 max load there, which is equalized enough. That's good enough. I like it. Cool. So that's that part of the power grid. And if we ever want more, we can just do more of the vertical column down here. And the purpose of this here is to displace this water so that I can build the vertical column without having to work around it. Now, because I don't have any power generators that make sense to tune up, and to explain this a little bit, let me back up. So a power plant allows you to, a mechatronics engineer, to tune up a power generator to generate more power. And the reason it doesn't make sense is the effort it would take to travel to these tidal turbines to tune them up is great. It's a lot of effort. On top of that, they're very frequently disabled by automation grid because our batteries are full. So they just don't make sense to tune up. Instead, we can just tap more tidal springs. That makes a lot more sense. And the reason I mention this is, as a result of that, I'm not going to bother to ever probably have a power control station unless we at some point do like a steam generator off of this geyser or something like that. So that's not really part of the scope of this project, in other words. So as such, all we really want is the grid itself to be scalable and to move some of these transformers to just make it a little bit easier to like build appropriately. So that also means I really want a Valka to get demolition so that I can knock this research portal out so I can double the because I don't mind the transformers being here. This isn't a terrible spot for them. Actually, alternatively, what I could do is have the transformers be right there. That might make the most sense. One other thing I wanted to do, although it's not all that necessary, is to have one more smart battery so that we hold 100 kilojoules rather than 80 as just a nice round number. There's no real reason for it apart from that. But if we do that, putting two 1K line generators here, once this is built out, and that will be able to supply like a metal refinery or something that requires more than a kilowatt of power. Oh, you can swim now. Congrats. And then for now, I'm going to put these on an automation signal switch just to keep them off, because transformers that are on produce heat. So I don't want them just like producing heat for no reason. So I'll be able to turn them off via switch. Mostly because there's just no valid power consumers for it at the moment. So if we wanted to hook this up, the potential load of the crafting room, we only really craft like one thing at a time, but it is about 2K. So we could split that as well. The issue is I kind of also don't want idle transformers because it's just producing heat for no reason. So keeping it as a potential brownout situation is kind of fine in some cases, just to keep heat from building up. Oh, there we go. Finally, demolition. So now that we have demolition, I can actually blow up this portal. Have I lost a colony to heat death? No. Never, not once. I'm really careful about stuff like that. So I've never had a heat death. I have had farms go bad due to heat. But generally, and it's not an option for me right now because I don't have any weed warts, but historically I just like throw weed warts at it until the problem goes away. And then once I can tap hydrogen power, I do atons until that problem goes away. Oh man, Major Mildew, you're so bad at wearing suits. He's gonna like piss himself as a result. Nope, he didn't. No pissy suit. One thing I don't have is pissy suit protection. So I'm gonna create a tile here. Ooh, you know what? Maybe I need to move the suit docks. Yeah, I'm gonna move the suit docks. Now that I'm staring at this. Well, so if we piss our suit and we redock it, it creates a puddle, which is not uncommon. And it will potentially leak into the mucin here. But it's a problem that can be solved if I move the liquid lock after a lip. So I could move this liquid lock at some point to resolve that. But that isn't the concern. I really don't want the liquid to go here. That's the big problem. And we're about to have our 100th cycle anniversary or whatever. So, awesome. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm not, however, looking for feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dupes.